we are in the final stretch of the G1 Climax, people, as there's literally only 7 days left to determine our main event of Wrestle Kingdom 14. Hello, everybody. Now, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome to another Simple Take, where tonight we'll be discussing our thoughts on the outcomes of Day 11 and how it really has changed the direction of the G1 Climax, and of course giving our simple predictions for Day 12 and potentially Day 13, because guess what? They are back-to-back. Before all that, allow me to introduce you to my partner tonight in the discussion. He's a family man. He's the holiday. He is doing extremely well in the G1 Climax, but like Yano, spoiler, someone plays spoiler, it is of course my friend here, Chris Mace. Chris, how are you? And how's been your experience so far at New Japan Pro Wrestling for the first time ever?
Oh, like I said, this has been a great experience watching a lot of the New Japan stuff. Like I said, it's the first full G1 series I've actually watched. I've been very impressed with stuff. And I'm going to give a perfect example, y'all, as we'll get into what our scores are after this. Noah said it, and I hate when he's right on stuff. I'll admit he's right. Anything can change in one night. And so we're going to find here shortly. Do we have a new leader on the leaderboard? And what happens? Like I said, one night can change anything on our leaderboard as we're getting down to the home stretch here.
I told you. All right, let's go ahead and get right into the block matches. So this night was, this night was Day 12. It was B-block action with block leader going in, Jon Moxley, perfectly undefeated, and men sweating because at this point, if Jon Moxley took this night, he was pretty much a definite to take the entire block. But before all that, we actually opened with a battle of a junior heavyweight and a heavyweight. It was Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb. Both these men laid into each other, my God. But in this match, Jeff Cobb took the win here after freaking escaping Last of the Dragon and landing a massive German suplex with Tor the Irons combination for the win. He went for that like 2 or 3 times in this match. Both men trading wicked lariats and even a headbutt that made the crowd come alive, because at one point in this match, I thought Takagi won. I was like, dang it, he even landed no Shikami and didn't win. That should have been it. But somehow the Hawaiian Juggernaut prevailed. A great opener, I thought, to this night's B-block action. Chris, what are your thoughts on this match?
It was a great opener. I was very impressed with it. Wasn't happy who won, but hey, it's wrestling. You're not going to always get what you want. But like I said, Cobb won. He earned that win, though. I will give him that. Cobb earned that win.
Yes, he did. Speaking of wins, you know what? Let me just say this. No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do this. You all figure out who I'm talking about. Chris, I'm going to give this to you because I know you've been the most strong against this guy. What were your thoughts on Toru Yano versus Jon Moxley, which is probably the most important match so far for the B-block in the G1 Climax?
Okay, well, I'm glad you let me take this now. I'm going to first give credit to this because there's only one person that I knew that's not in our league that predicted Yano to beat Moxley. Yes, folks, I said it. Yano beat Moxley. It's by a count out, but he got a win over Moxley.
Oh my God.
And I'll give credit to Solid Monster, Jason Solomon. Like I said, the Solid Monster. He had his predictions up, and he predicted that Yano would be the one to beat Moxley.
He did.
And he is the only one that I've heard out of numerous predictions, numerous thoughts and opinions about this. I've listened to other people's opinions on it. He's the only one that has predicted that Yano would get that win. See, I have my spoiler to who would beat Moxley, but it wasn't Yano. That's not who I picked. I think I picked the wrong one. But anyways, we'll go in that later. Either way, this match, for all the shenanigans, oh my God, when he put that duct tape on him. Unfortunately, that kind of reminded me of something WWE does. That's the only thing that kind of aggravated me. Yes, it's entertaining, and I love New Japan, but if they do something I don't like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to praise the good they do. I'm going to be shit on the negative they do. Like I said, that reminded me of the crap that Cena did to Batista before in the Last Man Standing match, where Cena duct taped Batista.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what it was. Either way, Yano got the win. that's all I can really say about it. Yano got the win. And it's crazy because the way I'm looking at it, let me make sure I look at my notes. So I actually been writing down some notes on this stuff. I actually bought a notebook for this stuff. Just for everybody, I bought a notebook for this.
Nice.
Yep, Yano is still alive in this right now with 6 points.
Everybody is still alive. That's why this was so serious. They were talking about how, like, JY in the Bullet Club locker room and Tetsuya Naito in the freaking LIJ locker room were watching this with invested interest because it literally opened the B block now to anybody to take this now.
Yeah.
Because Toru Yano beat the guy in freaking 5 minutes, which was probably his longest match right now in this G1. And again, Toru Yano, he pulled everything out. Not only coming with a chair, but offering a DVD loaded with yen to freaking Jon Moxley, to freaking trying to freaking spraying water in his face that just took Moxley over the edge, to freaking go for the low blow, to the freaking turnbuckles, I forget their names, to, you said it, a roll of tape that Moxley used against him at first and try to get him in the barricade, make him lose through his own shenanigans. This close, 19, this close, only for freaking Jon Moxley to get a little bit of offense in, put on a table, was fixing to drive him through it, and freaking Yano grabbed Shota, threw him into Moxley, behind the ref, low blow, and he take freaking Moxley and Shoto's foot together, so it was like a 3-person that had to get up towards the ring to make it to the count for the freaking crowd, Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero, and probably everybody in the back to explode because freaking Toru Yano has a win over Jon Moxley, and that is Jon Moxley's first loss in New Japan Pro Wrestling. What the hell? Oh my God.
I mean, it was clever with the duct tape. It did remind me of what WWE did, but that was clever, the duct tape, though. I mean, it was a clever idea. Yano, he wasn't my pick to have the upset win, but however, like I said, Jon Moxley was going to have some kind of upset win, so, I mean, they got it out of the way, it looks like right now.
Yeah, and figure about this. He did pull out his finish with a Regal knee, but Yano rode out to the ring, so that just shows you how well aware Yano is also of the ring, not only just his shenanigans. In the end, Yano won. Simple as that. Now the B block is entirely open. Apparently that was 5,000 yen. Yeah, he owed Moxley 5,000 yen. Oh, no, he owed ring announcer Osaki 5,000 yen. So that's pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, Jon Moxley with a face of just shock and dismay. He went in the back and talked about how pretty much now he just wants to pretty much kill Toru Yano. And Shota Umino is just like, So I'm pretty sure both of them are going to go after Toru Yano in the tab previous to come. Toru Yano, you're a lovable guy, but you just ended up on the death list of the Death Rider. Good luck to you. Holy cow. And that brings Toru Yano now 3-3. He has 6 points. Jon Moxley's 5-1 now. He still stands at 10. Block leader up to this point. All right. Moving on from there. Well, I mean, what else can you say about this match? It was a match of mind games, but in the end, history repeated itself. A very physical affair, but I feel like Tetsuya Naito has respect for this guy, in my opinion. Because, you know, with the subtle mocking, he gave him this gentle nod. But Tetsuya Naito, you can never read the guy. But these guys have gone at each other so many times. Chris, what was your thoughts on Tetsuya Naito versus Juice Robinson, with Tetsuya Naito picking up the win? Keep in mind, Tetsuya Naito is one of the front runners to still win this block.
This is another one. You're gonna hear this late. You're gonna probably hear this the whole video. This is another one I didn't pick right. I thought Juice Robinson was gonna pull this off, but you know what? I'm not surprised that Naito won. Naito, like I said, he's on my top 5 of my wrestlers for New Japan right now. I've been impressed with him, and I'm not surprised he won. I've just songs like you would say, simple as that. I'm not surprised he won, but I mean it was a very good match.
Yeah, I mean, both men training down each other. Robinson with the slow unrobing and getting ready for the match. Who wears 3 shirts to the ring? Okay, that was ridiculous. And then Naito's like, but as soon as he tries to take off the 3rd shirt, Naito attacks. And then we got both men just jockeying at each other. To one point, Juice Robinson is literally imitating Naito in the middle of the ring, only for Naito to come back into play. There was jabs, drop kicks. One Despito wasn't enough. Juice Robinson, he went for full friction and left-handed God, just couldn't get in the stick. Naito would hit Valencia, and then land Destino for the victory in the end, while constantly mocking Juice, Juice, Juice. You gotta respect the Flamboyant one. Obviously, a pinnacle match for his G1 is going to be his. You would hope. I think some people will hope to be his redemption against Jon Moxley, which would be his last match in the G1. That's Jon Moxley and Juice Robinson's last match in the G1. Yeah. So I can only imagine if that's going to go longer and if the result will be different. But history kept up here. Naito prevailed. Took a very serious approach. Good Lord, that was crazy. All right, so we move on from a bit of craziness to absolute darkness. I'm not talking about evil either. A battle of two heels, basically. A battle of who is the more dirty, who is the more enduring, who's the one that wants to win more. Now, this was the craziest thing to me, the opener. Friggin' Rocky Romero says he was kneeling on one knee, praying that friggin' Taiji won this. Taiji is one of the most despicable men outlooked in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the mission of heel versus heel, and truly shows who the top heel is in the company. Because it sounded like, according to Rocky Romero and Kevin Kelly, everybody in the friggin' building wanted Jay White to lose ever since that proclamation. And yet he pulled it out again. And both these men pulled everything out against each other. They freaking tried low blows. They used outside interference. But I think we truly know how low Jay White will go to freaking win when Gato grabbed Miho Abe and intimidated her with his own brass knuckles. At one point, Gato tried to go to use the brass knuckles, only for Kanemaru to freaking spit at him in the face. The knuckles go flying. By the way, I took 2 attempts at that because the first attempt missed. And freaking Taiji, he came within a hair of beating Jay White. So close, but Jay White hit an SSS, Blade Sunday, and Blade Runner for the victory in the end. Of course, the pants came off. I had all my great spots, all the great kicks from Taiji. I'm Suzuki going all the way. Kasani and RA. Mad respect to Taiji. He's one of those that I feel like just hasn't reached that peak yet and needs to, and I think he can. But in the end, Taiji lost again. And Jay White's proclamation still stands, much to the huge dismay of Rocky Romero. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on the Switchblade, Jay White, his proclamation, and this match?
It was an interesting match. Like I said, they're both heels, and like I said, I'm learning more and more about this stuff. So like I said, sometimes I'm not always familiar with everything storyline-wise, what's going on with people. So I'm learning as I'm going on the fly here. So, but I thought it was very well done match for a heel versus heel match. I think it was very well done, and I thought it ended up being a really good match. So.
And to think, if freaking Gato wasn't out there and pulled the referee out when freaking Taiji had the Gato clutch, Taiji would have won, no doubt in my mind. Nobody kicks out of the freaking Gato clutch. Yeah. He should have had it. So I'm a little annoyed by that, yes. But congratulations, Courtney, your favorite one. Go follow her podcast, folks. Free with the Switchblade. Nothing but respect. Dang it, though! All right. Moving on from there, we go into our main event. And once again, the Stone Pit Bull, I swear his head's made of concrete. Chris, what were your thoughts on Tomohiro Ishii versus Hiroki Goto? You had to have a lot on your mind looking at these two hard hitters.
These two, oh my lord, these two beat the shit out of each other.
What am I like?
I know, they literally, like, we talked on another episode about 2 men beating the shit out of each other. Oh lord, these two really did beat the shit out of each other. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with neither one of them. That's all I got to really say about that. I wouldn't want to see them in a dark alley anywhere. How about that?
All right, fair enough. I mean, Tomohiro Ishii, all he wants is you to hit him harder. He's like, hit me harder at one point. That's kind of Kelly translated. Both these men wearing away on each other. We got, of course, our typical spot with Tomohiro Ishii. I swear that's the most friggin' jab, chop, jab, chop, jab, chop, jab, chop, jab, chop, jab, chop. He freaking gave Goto in the corner only for Goto to freaking come back. Ishii freaking using a power slam to break Goto's forward momentum as he picked up momentum later on in the match. Both men colliding with each other. several dang times, figuring out, oh, who's going to fall first. Ishii looking for the vertical drop brainbuster, his finisher. Goto managed to keep his lower gravity in control so he couldn't get the momentum to lift him up. Eventually hits the neck breaker across the knee. I'm losing from this match because I am a huge fan of Tomohiro Ishii, one of my all-time favorites. Near fall came from an Ushi-Goroshi. People know that move from Adam Cole, baby, if nothing else. And so close, but Goto would persevere, however, pulling off a vine exchange. This was a hard-hitting exchange at the very end between these two men, too. Ishii was this close again, freaking just throwing the sliding lariat and the forearms, they're freaking headbutting each other. I swear the man's got to have a dent in his head. But again, GTR, Goto's finisher for the win. Goto saying the G in G1 stands for Goto. Goto picking up momentum, continuing his way. This was the longest match of the night, around the 18-minute mark. And now both men, they are tied. So this stopped Tomohiro Ishii getting second place in the block because he has 6, and it also brought up Goto with 6. Basically, everybody with 6 has a chance here when you think about it, despite the fact Moxley is still ahead by 2. I can only imagine it would slightly differ if Ishii put up the win and went to 8. But I guess we'll see what happens on 9/14, which we'll discuss soon enough. So overall,
well, what's interesting about this is that you still have after day 12, you still have 7 men that are still alive, with Moxley leading by 10 right now. You still have 7 people alive and only 3 eliminated, where we're getting to the A block here in a minute where you have 5 men eliminated already. There's no way they can win.
It's a freaking wild bracket, to say the least, but you're absolutely right. So with that, before we go ahead and get into our predictions for the next 2 nights of action, starting with A block, and of course I saw all the tab previews, I saw the interviews from New Japan Pro Wrestling's website to prepare for this, and of course I read up on this on NewJapanWorld.com. And also I've seen a number of these one-on-one counters before, so of course I'm very excited. Chris, any further last thoughts on, day 12? And it seems like you got all the updates on our predictions game.
Well, here's the thing with this. Like I said, and I said I hate to admit that Noah's right. He said in this tournament, like I explained to people before, we predicted this a week or so in advance before anything. We had no knowledge. We had no advantage with this. When you have to predict 91 matches, we have no advantage. We are pretty much going through.
I went off history because you know I've watched New Japan Pro Wrestling. You really went blind.
But so, like I said, I did have the lead before by the end of day 11. By day 12, I no longer have the lead. So now we have in first place, we have good brother Chris. He has 34 out of 60 right for 57%.
Wow.
I'm in second place right now with 31 out of 60 at 51% or 52%, which is crazy because the last 2 days on predictions, I have been 1 for 10. 1 for 10 in the last 2 days. So that's craziness there. Okay. But then we have Noah and Big Cass. They are tied in third at 30 out of 60. They're both 50% right.
All right.
And Cindy, last but not least, Cindy, she's at 29 for 60 at 48% right on her accuracy so far. And on a side note, just to let everybody know how we predicted so far, I believe when I took notes and actually looked at everything, let me double check here. Everybody's pick so far to win the Block B is still alive so far, which is a whole lot different than Block A. But Block B, everybody's picks are still alive and has a chance to win.
I'm so daggum annoyed by the freaking... But anyway, yeah. All right.
Like I said, congratulations, good brother Chris. You have a 3-point lead going into day 13 right now.
Yeah, literally.
So congratulations, but we still got a long way to go. And like I said, you see how I had a lead all the way till day 11. Anything can happen any given day, like Noah said. So now I've learned a hard lesson with this now.
Yeah, this is not your typical copy paste card thing. This is unpredictable. Anything can happen. This is pro wrestling. With that being said, we are in the final stretch. 7 days, folks. 7 days left. 7. And we're going to now go into our predictions Short, sweet, simple, and quickly. At least two of us are, and I might just close some of the R's predictions based on time. We're going to talk about days 13 and 14 because they are back-to-back with A block and B block. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So coming up in a few hours, it is A block action, as, of course, they took a day off because it's travel. It's not even a day off if you consider it's travel time. I mean, come on, let's just be honest here. I don't know the place exactly, and I'm horrible at names, so sorry. Anyway, let's
From
just go.
parts unknown. That's always the answer. From parts unknown.
Parts unknown would be like the easy way out to say, it's coming from. You know what? I'll try here. So, okay, Saturday, August 3rd, a few hours from now. It's in Osaka, Japan. In Osaka Prefectural Gym, Edion Arena, Osaka. Interesting. Okay,
Oh,
so
see,
let's
I'm
go
going to butcher that completely, so let's not ask me.
Let's go ahead and get right into A block action. Day 13 of the G1 Climax. Our opening match is the first time ever one-on-one encounter. It is Kenta versus Bad Luck Fale. Kenta going into swing 4-2. Bad Luck Fale, he has 1-5. He's completely eliminated, and he basically says he's going to make everyone else's life a living hell on their way to try and win this. He's going to try and play Spoilermaker of its own in the worst way possible. These men, neither of them have prior history to each other. However, we all know Bad Luck Fale does not travel alone. He's going to have at least Chase Owens with him. He might even have the Tokyo Pimp. Of course, if Pizza's out there, that's enough of a distraction, I think, for Kenta and for anybody. Hey, now. Anyway, looking at this match, though, I think about Kenta and his momentum, but I think about Bad Luck Fale and how far we are in this. I actually went with Bad Luck Fale for the win here, which some probably think is foolish. Chris, who did you pick?
Oh Lord, you have it. I don't have I have all my notes, and I don't have that on me. You're gonna tell me I can't multitask like that now.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm working off two computers. I'm like the banker from Dear Notice, if you can see me. Anyway, you picked Kenta. No way.
Yeah, I thought I picked Kenta, but I wanted to make sure because I thought I picked somebody else, and I was wrong. I so thought for some reason I picked Yano, then I realized who I picked to beat Moxley instead. I was like, crap.
So anyway, what were your thoughts on this match when you picked Kenta?
Because Kenta's back. I'm gonna keep telling everybody that the real Kenta, please stand up. He's back. Like I said, I'm surprised he lost the last match. I mean, I thought Okada and him would have gone to a draw, but that didn't happen. But like I said, he's still got right now. He's got 8 points. He's still got he's still in this. He has an opportunity still if he could win out to get in there and win Block A. So, like I said, he's still got an opportunity. But now will Fale be the spoiler? Because now is where it gets interesting. There's 5 men eliminated in Block A, so now you have to worry about who's going to be the one that spoils these other ones from being able to get in. That's where the storytelling is going to get really interesting now.
Exactly, because Zack Sabre Jr., Sonata, Bad Luck Fale, Lance Archer, and Will Ospreay are technically all eliminated from the G1. They cannot take the block. Yeah. All they can do is try and bring you the most points, but some of these men are just going to try and bring the most chaos. And I'm not talking about the Chaos faction either, pun intended. So, yeah, let's go ahead and go run down everyone else's real quick here if I can, because, there's a lot of brackets. Let's see here. Chris Cass, he picked Kenta. Cindy, she picked Bad Luck Fale. And good brother Chris, he picked Bad Luck Fale as well. And the way I see it is this when I was thinking about it. Bad Luck Fale is the biggest guy in this whole thing. The chances of Kenta pulling off a GTS on this guy or game over, I think, are slim because I don't think he's going to be able to lock it. So I went with that. The only way I see Kenta winning this is from some sort of shenanigan count-out because I don't think Red Shoes is going to be out there to pull off a 1-2 fuck you. So that's why I went with Bad Luck Fale on this. I feel like the Rogue General got this match some way, somehow. All right. Moving on from there, let's go ahead into our next match. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is their first ever singles meeting. Keyword singles, because as you all know, New Japan Pro Wrestling relies heavily on tag team action. But before that, I actually skipped one. I'm sorry. Which is also singles. And these two are within the same faction. Zack Sabre Jr. coming off an incredible match with Will Ospreay. I hope those two face each other again at Royal Crest. Versus Everybody Dies, Lance Archer. It's a Suzuki Gun match. Suzuki Gun versus Suzuki Gun. And both these men, you know, I mean, they're in the same faction, so I'm sure there's a bit of mutual respect there, but both men obviously want to win. I mean, friggin', according to the exclusive I watched, Lance Archer found like a vegan barbecue or something, because we all know Zack Sabre Jr., he is the most flexible man I've ever seen right now in professional wrestling. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and talk real quick about who you picked for this one. Lance Archer, Zack Sabre. Okay, you picked Zack Sabre Jr. for this match. So
Yeah.
what was your thought process on this match, Chris?
Because he's a great technical wrestler. He can break Archer down, in my opinion. Like I said, Archer's a big boy, but like I said, that's Sabre Jr. He hasn't had a good showing. My theory and my prediction at the time was that Sabre was going to have a good showing because he was going to be able to use that technical skill he has to break people down. Like I said, I think that win versus Ospreay, which I'm still not happy with, but hey, it was a great match. That win over Ospreay is going to give him motivation. He's out of it now. He's now, like you said, they're trying to build up points now to be able to get into next year's. This would be a great opportunity for Sabre Jr. to pull off another big win right here because he said he's motivated. He's got a big win under his belt now. I think he's more motivated to go at it now and maybe run the rest of the block or win the rest of his matches. I think he's motivated now because he has nothing else to lose at this point.
That's very true. Very key observation there. But the thing I like to think about also is this. After this, literally, the A block, they only have 2 more matches left for them. So with that, though, thinking about Lance Archer and just the size of the match. Because you're right. Zack Sabre Jr., very technical, very dynamic. But enough blackouts and everybody dies claw, Lance Archer can pick up the win here. I went with Lance Archer. Let's go ahead and run down what else is real quick. Chris Cash picks Zack Sabre Jr. Chris Willis picks Zack Sabre Jr. Cindy picked... Cindy? Are you serious? A draw? What? Okay. Now, here's the thing. There's one way neither participant can get points. The only way neither participant gets points, but she did say draw, 1-1 for both. The only way neither participant cannot get points is double countout. With the fact these two are Suzuki-gun, and we know the freaking madness they bring outside the ring, I feel like maybe that's a possibility now that I think about it, but as far as both men getting 1 point going to 30-minute time limit, I don't see this match hitting 15 minutes, to be honest with you. With that being said,
Archer's still in it right now, though, isn't he? He's still, let me double check. No, Archer's eliminated from it either, so it really, yeah, so they're both eliminated, so now they're pretty much fine to get next year. That's why I had to look.
Yeah, but Archer's got 2 points over Zack Sabre Jr. at this point, 4-2.
Yeah.
So, Zack Sabre Jr. could definitely use the points, but again, this is going to be an interesting affair because Will Ospreay loves in his hometown. But again, I think Lance Archer is going to pull out the win here and prove again the point without saying it. Everybody dies. All right. So moving on from there, let's go into our other singles counter. I jumped the gun. It is, speaking of which, the Aerial Assassin, Will Ospreay, who's 2-4 versus Evil, representing LIJ, who is 3-3. So here's the thing. Will Ospreay, we know he's out. He's at 4 points. However, at 6, Evil's path is not entirely impossible, but could be at risk if he loses here. Now, you have been very fond of Evil. He's one of those that have intrigued you the most. He's also a heavy hitter. Now, this will be the first singles meeting, and I'm sure Will Ospreay is going to go in here a lot to prove something to himself, again, to prove something about junior heavyweights. So that being said, let's go ahead and see who you picked. Did you pick Evil because you're a fan of Evil?
I think I picked Ospreay on this one, if I remember right.
No, you did not. You picked Evil on this one.
Oh, I did pick Evil. Yeah, I'm good. Thank God.
All right. Go ahead and talk to me a little bit about this match. Your thought process on Evil versus Will Ospreay.
Like I said, I like Evil. He's right up there. He's got to be either my number 1 or number 2 favorite right now. Like I said, I like Evil. I'm sorry. I know if that's not a fair opinion of y'all, I'm sorry. It's my opinion. But I like Evil. And I think at this point, like I said, now, he's still got that gut shot chance of getting in. So with me picking him, thank God. Because like I said, Ospreay, it was he's eliminated now, but he was my winner to pick Block A. So my theory was at the time, now I remember now, Ospreay was going to need take a loss here and there. So he would have to struggle and make a triumphant comeback to get into Block A and win. So I figured Evil would be the one that could give him that upset victory. But boy, that has not played out in my storytelling so far.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, speaking of which, let's go ahead and run down everyone else's real quick. Chris Cash picked Will Ospreay. Cindy picked Will Ospreay. Chris Bliss looks like he picked Evil. At least that's what I'm seeing according to this bracket here. I'm sure they're going to comment on this. And let's see here. When I figured about this, Will Ospreay, he was one of my favorites overall. He impressed me phenomenally in Best of Super Juniors, taking that whole thing. But he's out of the friggin' G1 to win it, and he was my pick to take the block as well. In my opinion, he needs this momentum. But Evo's out here to say, this is my G1. I'm going to prove something to myself here. I'm also going to prove something to my partner, Sonata, who is out of this thing. That's right, Sonata, one of the ones I really thought was going to go far in this. He's out with the lowest score right now among two others with 2 points. I can't believe I just said that. And I can't believe that's the thing. But Evo's got a better chance right now of actually facing Okada, which he has before. And he has beaten Okada one-on-one before in the previous G1. I can see that happening again. With that, I just went with Evo on this. Not a whole lot more to this in my thinking.
So you did go with Evo on your predictions? On
your
original?
I was going with Evo on a few of these, but when I looked at this match, I actually felt like this is like a little over the halfway point. I feel like this was going to be more in Will Ospreay's favor because I know what Will Ospreay can do. And this is, again, the first singles meeting, so I don't really have nothing to go off of. I actually went with Will Ospreay on this one. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next match here. Oh, boy. This one. Damn it. Damn it. The ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, versus the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi. Let me just say this real quick. Both men tied. Both men 4-2. Both men stand at 8 points. But history has been in favor of the ace. In the overall singles record, it is 3-1 in favor of Tanahashi. And in G1s, as of 2015, 2017, 2018, it is 2-1, in favor of Tanahashi. Tanahashi has already talked about in interviews how he has changed his in-ring style to favor of his knees because he says he can't fly as high as he used to. Yet he still seems to pull out the high-five flow at the risk of his own knees, who have been through a number of surgeries. But again, this man's pride is not going to stop him. And then you got Kota Ibushi saying, I'm ready. Don't give up on me. Neither of these men can afford to lose, and both these men have got to be considerable favorites to take the friggin' A block. To Tanahashi, Ibushi may no longer be a lost individual because at one point Tanahashi was like, who is this person? I don't know who he is anymore. He feels like right now he is this guy that must assert himself to truly show, do you want this? Do you want to own this? Then beat me. Give me your best. You gotta be willing to demonstrate for me your own resolve, which of course Tanahashi counted as well. This is going to come down to who has the bigger heart. Both of these men are huge crowd favorites. Both of these men are favorables against Okada at freaking Wrestle Kingdom, without a doubt. And Tanahashi said he's going to repeat what he has done last year. Remember, Hiroshi Tanahashi won the freaking G1 last year and made all the way to Wrestle Kingdom and cashed in the case and won. Period. Mm-hmm. Can Kota actually achieve it? Can Kota become New Japan Pro Wrestling's top star, not just the Golden Star? Oh, man. This was one of the hardest matches for me to think about right here. But with that being said, I did not go against the Golden Star. I picked Kota Ibushi to win this. You also picked the same thing. Chris, what is your thoughts on both these men and this match?
This is a do or die for both these men. Either way, they both at 8 points. This is definitely a do or die. One of them's going to win this match and get to 10 points unless we get a draw or a double count out, which is still possible. So, I mean, but one of these men got to win. They got to get those 2 points because, in fact, right now, Okada's just sitting there pretty right now with his score of 12. So, that one of them's got to get these 2 points, and this is a they got to treat this like this is a do or die match, and they got to go all out it, because right now with both them being tied 8, this is do or die for both of them.
No, without a doubt. I mean, right now, this is over the halfway point. This is literally every match to determine if you stay in or you're gone. Both of these men, again, they are tied, you said, with 6 points. So obviously, it's going to tip the scale in favor of who's going to basically be tied with Kenta at least. With that being said, let's go ahead and run through everyone else's predictions real quickly. Chris Cass said the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi. Sandy also said Kota Ibushi. Chris Willis said Kota Ibushi. We are all in favor of the Golden Star. We believe in him and do not want to give up on him. Nothing against the ace. But you gotta consider, what is the state of this man's knee? Now, I know the biggest thing going into this match for Kota will be his neck, despite the fact his finger is like taped up still. It's going to be a battle again, though, of who has the biggest resolve, who has the biggest heart. It's not crowd favoritism. It's literally who drives, who basically against crowd, who is driven more to win, who wants to win. Want is probably the most lucrative word I could use, but it really comes down to that. Neither of these men can lose. Simple as that. But I just don't see a draw happening. One of these men is going to have to. In my opinion, I believe this is going to be a turning point, and we finally break history, and I say Kota picks up the win. Think about this. This is literally the rematch from, you might not know this is literally the rematch from last year's G1. So literally, Kota lost to this man in the finals. This is in the finals. I think Kota is not only going to get redemption, I think he's going to make it to the finals. So while my bracket is destroyed as far as my block winner, I gotta believe in reality, the block winner, I think this year, is going to be Kota. Well, yeah, I'm sticking to that, Kota, because Okada seems virtually unstoppable, but something has to give. He's already the freaking champion. He doesn't need to necessarily win this. Anyway, moving on from there, we literally go into our main event. And, yeah, speaking of which, it is the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, versus his rival, Sonata. And basically, based on the review I saw, Okada said this: "Oh, Sonata, he's only at this point? At this number of points this far? That surprised me. But maybe this means now he can focus more on this match. Because beating me is pretty much just as good as winning the G1. I want the Sonata, not the cool guy in the ring. I want the Sonata that plays things out. I want my rival. I want the best." Okada said that personally. So with that being said, this could be a potential match to go the 30-man limit. In overall singles record, though, Okada is 6-0 against this guy. And in G1, who have faced in 2016 and 2017, and Okada has won. So with that being said, to the point now that Kazuchika Okada is calling this guy his rival, and it's 6-0 Okada, and 2-4 Sonata. Someone has to give for Okada. Oh man. I mean, freaking Sonata, the closest he came to being Okada was freaking New Japan Dontaku for the freaking title, which of course is why he calls him his rival. But looking at this match, I gotta say, I don't think Okada's gonna go for this perfectly like Shingo Takagi did up to the finals. Someone has to give. Okada has to lose at least once. But this wasn't it for me. I picked the Rainmaker. Because I just feel like right now, Sonata, he's kind of a lost cause. He just had a horrible G1 and really has been playing more of the crowd as team and just not going all in to win this thing. So with that, I went with the Rainmaker on this one. And you did too. Chris, what was your thoughts on this match? And what is your thoughts on Sonata?
Disappointing Sonata. I said I can remember him as far back as when he was in TNA. I can remember him being there and was impressed with him there to me. And just his performance here, now we're going to 2019, his performance hasn't been nowhere near the level it should be. As for Okada, like I said, I told everybody, I predicted Okada to lose some matches early and win some matches late. Like I said, to me, you're going to have a long period to go between the end of this until Wrestle Kingdom before that person challenges Okada if he's still the champion. So I figured you could have him get some losses that could give him some contenders to challenge him during the meantime. But like I said, Okada's been on fire. I said I'm completely shocked he's come this far. Here's the big thing. Here's the thing you got to realize. If Okada wins, that's going to put him at 14. So Kenta is also at a must-win because to stay up in pace, he's got to win. He's got to get to 10 to stay in pace to even have a shot. Because if Okada gets to 14, he wins either one of the last two matches, he wins. There's nothing they can do, really.
That's correct. So pretty much we are at the do-or-die point for the A block. Again,
Yep.
People saying the B block at the short end of the stick. B block now is open wide completely. It's dynamic. There's only one guy eliminated. Freaking Okada, if he picks up this win, he's one match away literally before the end of the freaking G1, clinching victory for the block.
Yep.
So you guys got to pull up some wins here, especially you, Kenta. And freaking people with 6, freaking Evil, Koda, and the Ace. Again, I know we can expect this. We know Koda or the Ace is going to win. So there's going to be at least one person still in the running against Okada, regardless of this week's outcomes with the rest of the block. But bottom line is this. We might have our A-block winner determined by the end of the friggin' next A-block night. And that's something to behold. And friggin' Okada, Rock Romero's best friend, picking up all the records, it seems, and owning everything. Yeah, get him. What's it going to take to stop the rain, Baker? Anyway, can history repeat? It seems like we're all in agreement here because guess what? Chris Cash picks Sonata. Chris Willis picks Sonata. Cindy, I can tell Cindy's a Sonata fan. She went with another draw. So Cindy, good luck to you. But with that, that concludes this night of block action. You know what? The hell with it. Let's just go right into the B block because the B block right now is so dynamic. And the chat previews, it's going to be coming down to, of course, what we usually know. But we got some unique one-on-one encounters coming up here, some of which are first and some, of course, have history. Let's just go right into it. Ah, jeez. The first match, both men tied at 6. It is the Stone Pit Bull, a guy that's Mr. No Nonsense, versus, hey, Chris. Mr. Unpredictable himself, Toru Yano. Now, the funny thing is, these guys, this isn't their first one-on-one encounter. They actually have faced before the previous G1 last year. Ishii won. Ishii is a guy I don't want to see losing Toru Yano, but I see ifs, memes, and even predictions now that people think Toru Yano can take the B block. I'm like, if he does that, I'll start thinking. With that being said, I picked the Stone Pit Bull to win because I was like, no way in hell. Yet you apparently have seen something in Toru Yano, and you picked him to win this match. What was your thoughts on this match?
Alcohol, lots of alcohol. No, I'm joking. I guess. No, this is the point where I thought some of his shenanigans would play off. I didn't think it was going to be against Moxley. I thought it would be against Ishii, but hey, like I said, I've won some and lost some, so, I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Can Yano repeat and pull some shenanigans and repeat? You got to win over Moxley. Like I said, that was the top dog right there, so, in the B block. So let's see if we can maybe pull up an upsetting over Ishii. We'll see.
Oh, man, brother. All I got to say is this. If Toru Yano beats Tomohiro Ishii, then maybe I will start calling him potential winner for the freaking B block because Ishii is a guy that does not take nonsense. He wants a fight. He wants to wrestle. Toru Yano is the definition of an anti-wrestler. All right? So I'm sure he's going to pull out the tape. He's going to pull out the chair. The turnbuckles are going to have names. He's going to try and freaking blow him. But, oh, my Lord. This is just going to be downright weird. Honestly, I'm just going to say this right now. I feel like this could be the shortest match. And to think, Yano's shortest match is what, a minute something? I can see this being done in under a minute. Like, what's this uno? And then all of a sudden, headbutt. 1, 2, 3. I hope that happens. I hope Ishii wins. With that, let's go ahead and run through everybody else's. Chris Cass, oh jeez. He picked Yano. Cindy, Yano. Darn it, Cindy. Chris Willis, someone else has a brain. No offense. Chris Willis, he also went with Tomohiro Ishii. So we're all dynamic here. All right, let's go ahead and
So
get
three out of five think there's going to be an upset.
basically. And again, both these men are tied at 6. So again, it's a tipping point for either of them if Moxley wins the ninth, which we'll get to later. Moving on from there, we got another first singles meeting. It is the flamboyant one, Juice Robinson versus All Hail the Holy Emperor, Taiji. So I think about this. Taiji, he's like, damn the G1, damn Jay White. He's at the point now, it's like, you know what, this isn't the G1, this is whatever. He's going to go in here causing mischief and chaos because, excuse me, Taiji is in the worst spot at this point. He can't win the block. So what can he do? He can raise hell, and I'm sure he's going to try to. But with that, Juice Robinson trying to prove something to himself, setting up for, of course, his last match in the G1 against Jon Moxley, which, in my opinion, is going to be one of two deciders of the winner now, since we're over the Tour Young versus Jon Moxley. Shocker!
Yeah.
But with that being said, I feel like Taiji right now is at a death note when I was doing this, and I went with Juice Robinson for the win. And it's going to be a left-handed God that gives him the win with Pulp Friction, in my opinion. You, however, went with Taiji. What was your thoughts on this match?
Like I said, in my storytelling, you needed some people to get some wins because, like I said, my prediction here, spoiler, I had it down with Moxley and Juice Robinson the final day to decide. That match is going to determine who wins Block B. That's how I win. So I figured Juice Robinson at the time, my storytelling, he needed some adversity, and so that's why I picked Taiji to get an upset win over Robinson.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, again, upsets can happen. You never know, so I guess we'll see what happens. With that being said...
Well, we just saw what happened. Yeah, but anyway, so I did this. Anyways.
There's one thing I've learned. The most unpredictable person in freaking New Japan Pro Wrestling is freaking... I'm so just annoyed right now. I gotta be honest. It's freaking Toru Yano. The guy, you love the guy, you laugh at the guy, you wonder what the hell's with this guy. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead with everybody else's. Good brother Chris, he picked Juice Robinson. Cindy, she went with Taiji. Cass went with Juice Robinson. And I went with, you already know who I went with. I went with Juice Robinson as well. You went Taiji. So we're all dynamic here, too. So we'll see what happens. And I'm sure Kanemaru will not be far. Juice Robinson will be on his own. So we'll see. All right. Let's move on to another match here. Oh, jeez. Well, these two are no strangers to each other, especially when it came to the Never Openweight Championship. And by the way, the current Never Openweight Champion is Tomohiro Ishii. I respect it. Overall singles between these two is 1-on-1, but this is their first G1 meeting where Cobb has been gaining momentum, but this guy says the G stands for Goto. It is Hiroki Goto, who is 3-3, versus Jeff Cobb, who is 3-3. Again, a match of two-man tied, a pinnacle, pivotal match for both men. There's no doubt in my mind both these men are going to beat the living daylights out of each other because these two men have faced before. It was in San Francisco at the G1 special last year that freaking Cobb and Goto first met in a match over the Never Openweight Championship, and Goto won. You fast forward later to Honor Rising. These two men have faced each other again in a rematch for Goto when Cobb won the Ring of Honor World Television Championship to go to be the longest reigning undefeated for a while Ring of Honor Television Champion, now held by Shane Taylor. But Cobb and Goto, they finally got a battle again, and Cobb would win. So bragging rights here is one thing, but this is 2 points. This is more precious than a belt. This is the freaking G1. This pushes you towards the main event, potentially, of the freaking G1 and then going on to Wrestle Kingdom for the top prize in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Probably one of the most top prizes in professional wrestling today. With that being said, it is Jeff Cobb versus Hiroki Goto. You went with the Hawaiian Juggernaut, Jeff Cobb.
Yep.
And I went with Jeff Cobb as well. Because, again, I feel like here, Jeff Cobb's getting momentum. I feel like now, Jeff Cobb, he could win this. Not the block, but at least could see this match. But then Goto, he's New Japan legend, original. I'm having second thoughts, but I'm sticking by it. I went with Cobb. What were your thoughts going into this match, picking Jeff Cobb to win?
because I figured Jeff Cobb would have a good showing just by reading up on some of the stuff I've read up about him. I figured he'd have a good showing. So, like I said, Goto was one of those people I wanted to use as my storytelling would be one of the ones that would spoil some of the fun for the leaders in the block. So that's why at this point I went with Cobb, because I didn't have Goto scheduled to spoil anybody's fun yet. That was later on here, because we're getting low on the days, so it's later on down the road I had him spoiling some fun. But somebody already did that for me, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, but what are you going to do, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and run for everybody else's real quick. Chris Cass went with cool. Cindy, she went with Hiroki Goto. Interesting. I figured because she's such a big fan of, hey, Jeffrey. I thought she was going to pick Jeffrey. But I guess she didn't. All right. And good brother Chris, he also went with Cobb. So, Cindy is the odd one out here, so this could be a critical match for her. Especially
good brother Chris was the odd one out when he picked Goto last time, and you see what happened. So
simple as that. All right, let's keep moving on. We got 2 matches left. Oh, gee. All right. This is where a man's going to eat his words or Jon Moxley becomes human to everybody else in this block. Jon Moxley, 5-1. Jay White, 3-3. First ever singles meeting. Jay White, he's basically just blowing off. Forget Jon Moxley at this point. Who's this Jon Moxley guy? Huh? He's not Jay White. He's not the Switchblade. He certainly isn't me. Jay White going in with all that motivation and bravado to support what he stands for, himself, and belief in himself, to shut down the purveyor of violence. And again, Jon Moxley is still block leader. Jon Moxley loses to Jay White. You gotta imagine Jay White's gonna be everybody's pick to win this block and basically go on to freaking Wrestle Kingdom to main event. Because again, he did not main event Wrestle Kingdom this year, but he did face the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion Okada in the post-main event and won. So with that being said, can history repeat itself? Can he literally eat his words? Can he once again own New Japan Pro Wrestling? I don't know. But as far as this match, I picked Jon Moxley to be the spoiler to Jay White and giving Rocky Romero the ultimate pleasure. With that being said, Chris, you also went with the purveyor of violence, Jon Moxley. What was your thoughts going into this match?
Because my storytelling was Moxley, and so until what happened with Yano, my storytelling was Moxley was going to be completely dominant until the end, and then he was going to have that struggle towards the end that builds up to his last day with him versus Juice Robinson. That was my storytelling. Unfortunately, the wrong person upset Moxley, but that's fine because there's still an opportunity for that pick to play out and actually win, and that would be even more dynamic if everything plays out here how we're going so far. Because Moxley's got 10 points, but he doesn't have a comfortable lead though, because he's still got 6 other people right underneath him that still have a chance to get up there and win. So he's not sitting just pretty if he had won.
Yeah, basically turned down. He basically allowed everybody in this block to compete.
Yep.
Like, oh, you want to win? Okay, I help you win. Now you got a chance to win. Let's see you win. I don't speak Japanese, but I imagine if he spoke English, better English, he'd probably be talking like that. Oh, man. He only makes me laugh, though. I will say that. All right, let's go ahead and run for everyone else's real quick. Chris Cass, he's breathing with the Switchblade. Cindy, also Bullet Club. Surprise, surprise. Chris Woods is also Bullet Club. So with that, oh, my goodness. So we will see what happens here. We are split, so we'll see. I feel like at this point, his bravado and the fact that he's freaking New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we know Jon Moxley's going to AEW in October. Again, this might be another one I get wrong, much to Rocky Romero's dismay and the sadness of my bracket. We shall see. And I know my friend Courtney, hands down, is going to pick Jay White. There's no denying her going against the Switch. We will see what happens. Which brings us to our main event. And this is going to be interesting as he claims he's going to stop the Summer of Shingo. Tetsuya Naito, 3-3 versus Shingo Takagi, who's 2-4. Can Shingo Takagi come back in this thing and tie it up and shift things into his favor and bring Tetsuya Naito his 4th loss? Who, by the way, Tetsuya Naito brought in last October, and freaking Shingo was undefeated for over 90 matches. This is their first ever singles encounter. Period. It's no doubt in my mind this is going to be a pinnacle match. Both men with incredible spread to each other. Both men still fist pumping. But it's a must-win scenario for both men. Neither man can afford to lose. Shingo Takagi has a lot of misfortunes, but this is going against the freaking leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón. I cannot go against Tetsuya Naito in this, and neither could you. So, that being said, what were your thoughts on Tetsuya Naito versus Shingo Takagi?
Okay, like I said, my storytelling was at this point, because now I remember why I had to pick a lot of this stuff. Now, Naito was pretty much by one that I figured would be the one that was neck and neck with Moxley going into it and going into the final day, where it had to be a must-win for either Moxley and Naito. One had to win to get in to be the winner. Yeah. So this is the point where I'm saying Naito was going to pick up this win. Like I said, Naito is very impressive, like I said, and Moxley beat him, and that was he beat him, and I know you were surprised that Naito didn't win, but like I said, Naito is damn good. He's damn good. He's very impressive. So, like I said, my storytelling's going pretty good with this so far, because Naito's still in it, and so is Moxley's on top of the leaderboard. Which, so far, I think me and Cindy have predicted that correctly. Moxley would be on top of the leaderboard that's going through right now. And Naito's still in it. So, like I said, so far on Block B, that storytelling is coming into permission right now. That's playing out right now. So,
I guess
that's what Naito's going to, hopefully Naito gets the win. Let's see what everybody else says.
Well, pretty much everybody, keep this in mind, everybody here, except for you, I believe, and you and Cindy predicted Jon Moxley to take this block, while me, good brother Chris, and Chris Cass, we picked Tetsuya Naito to win the block.
Yeah, so, that's why we're all still, our Block B winners are still in it right now.
Well, come this, that probably can change. Not necessarily destroyed, but definitely can be on a pinnacle point for some of us. With that, let's go ahead and go for everybody else's here. Good brother Chris, of course he picked Tetsuya Naito. Cindy went with a draw. Interesting. Chris Cass, he went with Tetsuya Naito as well. So we will see what happens. I already knew Chris Cass was going to go with Naito because he's a big pro fan of LIJ. The bottom line is this.
Yeah.
We are 7 days left in this thing. It's the weekend. Both blocks are going to be in action. And pretty much one thing is going to happen here. Okada will be one match away from taking the A block, or there will be a lot of people closer to Okada to win the A block. And as far as B block goes, Moxley, if he wins this, the best you could hope for is a tiebreaker maybe. Or there's a lot of people here that could be up to 8 and Mox still at 10. And again, your favorites like Naito and White can still win this. But we will see what happens. Bottom line, we got a heck of a weekend coming up for us. But with that, we are done with this simple take and longest edition of predictions for the G1 Climax. And I'm going to go to bed soon and get some rest before I see this live, because on weekends I watch the G1 Climax live. So Chris, again, pleasure as always. This was fun. This was simple. This was extended. This was storytelling at its finest and just simple analytics. Anything you want to plug, and where can people find you?
Oh, Lord. We did a lot of plugs earlier.
Yeah, feel free to keep it simple if you want.
So I'm going to keep this simple, but also you have an announcement about what we're doing for the rest of predictions? Because like I said, you're going to be in Toronto, so do you want to talk about what you're planning to do here for the rest of predictions after this? I think it's after this when we're doing the big one.
I might as well, because, next week, literally the Sunday after this one, it marks the finale of the friggin' G1 Climax. We will know initially what our main event of the friggin' Wrestle Kingdom 14 will be, because after this weekend, we literally got the 7th, the 8th, the 10th, the 11th, and 12th. Now, here's the thing. quote Jeff Meacham. Here's the thing. Go follow him. Hashtag _ Jeff Meacham. So, jeez. The freaking 7th, that is the last night I'm in this country for a few days. So, obviously, come that Tuesday, I'm also going to do Civil Take and predictions on that. The 8th, however, unless I do it super in the morning, like 2 a.m., there's going to be a mega-sode for the 10th and 11th and 12th that I will do a Civil Take on August 8th and predictions on all 3 of those nights and my overall winner. And then coming back from Toronto that Monday night, I will do, of course, a concluding recap Civil Take of the entire G1 of those remaining nights and my thoughts going into Wrestle Kingdom. Because, again, next week marks the end of the G1. So there's going to be a couple of mega videos, basically, to sum up the G1 Climax in my summer of wrestling. So stay tuned for that, folks. And again, good luck to everybody in TeamIndyDQ in our G1 Climax game. Still, anybody can potentially win this up to this point. The weekend, though, is probably going to change that for sure. With that, we are done. You know what? Hell, I'll do my thing if you want me to, unless you want to go ahead and plug anything real quick.
I was about to say, but one last thing, since he's going to be out of town, no spoilers now. He is spoiler-free, does his best, so do not spoil what goes on. I will be keeping up with the scores while he's gone, but so I'm not making sure I'm not spoiling it nor telling anybody else until he gets back to the conclusion of all this. But let's not spoil the simple man, please. He'll take them glasses off. Trust me, you don't want him to do that. Please, let's not do that.
New Japan Pro Wrestling is one I never take glasses off unless I'm surprised. It never pisses me off or makes me mad. And the bottom line is this: I got an 8-hour bus trip on the way back from Toronto, so I know I can at least watch like maybe the 8th and the 10th, and then I can watch like the 11th, 12th, when I come home, or maybe I'll watch like all of them at some point. I'll figure it out. But with that being said, as always, thank you, my friend. Folks, you want to know more about me? Know this, I'm keeping it simple. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. Follow me, talk to me wrestling. I'll be your friend if you like wrestling. Look me up, NoDQ.com/Noah. Takes you to my Twitter page or at nfoster1916. Follow my simple YouTube channel here at YouTube.com/Noah Foster210, where you'll find more predictions, simple takes, simple summaries, and more stuff on all things wrestling, WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Independent Wrestling, Support Independent Wrestling, folks, and beyond. Next week's going to be extremely busy. Like I said, I will be in Toronto that weekend seeing Ring of Honor Summer Supercard Live. There will be predictions prior to that on this channel. I will also be seeing NXT TakeOver Toronto 2 live. There will be predictions up on NoDQ.com. And I will be seeing W SummerSlam live. There will be predictions as well on NoDQ.com. And, of course, I will also be doing 205 Live Mass at an earlier date next week, Tuesday night, after 205 Live goes off the air. So next week's going to be very busy and very interesting. Stay tuned for all that fun content. Support NoDQ. That's the reason I'm in YouTube. Buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/shirts. Follow my social media platforms. Go make a friend, go make an enemy, go troll virtue wherever you dare. Follow this man here, Chris Mace, on all social media platforms, basically Facebook. Join the hashtag 205 Mass Facebook group, fun community, all about cruiserweight wrestling, then, now, forever, 205 Live brand, and beyond. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets for big and small, and let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that, thank you so much for watching, tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell to know when the next video will be up. Let me know your predictions and your thoughts still on the G1 so far and what's to come in the comments just down below. I'll interact with you. Love to hear from you. Until the next video, you hear my voice going hoarse. That's because we've been at this now for a number of things for a number of hours. I am tired. I'm going to get these things edited and uploaded. Then I'm going to bed. I'll see you all live in the morning for G1 Climax Day 13. So until then, enjoy life, enjoy wrestling, get some sleep, and have a good night.
All right, have a good night, y'all.
Good luck, Chris. Good luck, Cindy. Good luck, Chris Willis. And good luck, Chris Cass. 7 days left. Let's see who takes the win home. It will be me. By some saving grace, it will be me. And when it is, you'll see this face. Bye, everybody. Hey, I'm just pointing out facts.